I just wanted to add one more thing about Anjali. You know, after the shot is over, Anjali watches that shot, and that's the most beautiful thing in the world I have seen. The way she watches you perform and the expressions she has at that time. You know, every time I would just go and peep and watch how she's watching the shot, and that gave me a lot of not only confidence but calmness about my own being. Who am I as a person, you know? And I could be in tears right now. The way, I mean, this cannot be explained what she did, because she was just so much there. And the way there was also praise in her eyes, there was a little bit pride, and she would also emote with the characters. So her expressions will also change, but she will be a tanmayata is the word, you know, becoming one with that thing. And the way she did it gave me a lot about also a lot of energy to perform, to give next shot. At the same time, a lot of calmness about my own self, I would say. And she has that. I don't know what to say it and how to put it in words. You have to look at her while she watches our shots. That's it. And not only Jaya, with everyone, I would say that the way she watches us.
I think it's quite evident that, you know, there was a very strong personal dynamic amongst everyone. And a lot of the performances took up from there, because I think we relied quite heavily on that. So even within the group, the kind of little cliques which were formed and people who connected to one another, we really relied on what was actually happening in real life, you know, during those days while they were together for the workshop, and the kind of chemistries that were evolving. I think it was just a question of just sitting back and getting that on screen. It was just that. So by being themselves, they made it a lot easier for us.
No, not only that, because like once I remember, I can't say a lot about the story of the film because people will be watching the film, but the questions she asks to any actor, you know, those questions are not random questions. You know, sometimes those questions will also startle me. Like, she asked me, what do you think this child is for Jaya? What do you think this child is for her? And if it doesn't happen, what will happen to Jaya? And then that gave me something. I was like, okay. So those questions are also very bang on questions, you know. So it's not only us, or like, she has that some
that's
touch,
what
some touch.
about, right? She takes the actor's role to pass.
Don't tell too much.
yeah. I'm not speaking now.
Yeah, but she takes you through that journey of an character to the past. She makes us think about the past, present, and future of that character. That's how Anjali gets a person into that mold of character, I believe. Right, Anjali? See, here, Padmapriya is not here. So I would like you, Anjali, to speak more about her character. And in the BTS, I saw a good rapport between Nithya and Padmapriya, hugging, and a lot of affection going on around. What is happening between them? And is it something related to the movie? I would like to know.
That's good. One of the closest friendships there, like we form like a immediate connection, is with Padmapriya's character Veni and Nora, two completely diabolically opposite people who just like get along really well with each other. So Veni's character is one which wants to be friends with everybody. She's just like really nice, and she's like, I like everyone, and she wants everyone to get along and all of that. So yeah, one of the quickest things that form is between me and her. So I had a lot of fun with that. But Anjali will tell you more.
No, I think we should actually introduce. I think it'll be nice if each of you actually just talk a little about your character and introduce it, so that, you know, we have a thing for that. So for Priya, I can speak. Padmapriya actually plays the character of Veni, and Veni is somebody who speaks Tamil and is there to attend this class. She's one of the characters, I think, who people will find very relatable, who's very much within sort of, you know, a very traditional setup, and trying to be this people pleaser, and yet trying to find her own identity through all of it. So that's something that I think is a very relatable experience for a lot of people. And the way she's played it is very effortlessly. And that whole thing of how to put across a character is a real interesting study of what she's done. You'll see there's a certain character arc that she achieves through it, and very, very affable. So I'm eager to see how everybody will react to Veni and all of them. It would be nice if each of you can actually just speak a little about your own character.
Talking about Nandita, I think she probably brings a lot of strength and calmness to the group of women who are with her. And in a way, without her realizing, she empowers these women. And in exchange, she gets empowered as well with all their experiences. And there's a lot of exchange of experiences, what they have in their own lives, the journey that they're going through. So I think that is what Nandita brings to this film. She is basically, she's a pillar. She holds them together. She understands them. She understands their moods. Yet gives them the freedom to think differently, be who they are, feel comfortable in their own skin. So I think that's all that I can say about this character.
Nice. And Jaya?
She goes through different stages, and I realized that while performing Jaya, the most difficult part for me was acting as if I don't know English. And because in your eyes, when you understand English, you do this, no? So Anjali sometimes would just say, you haven't understood, because you are understanding certain thing, but acting as if you're not understanding it was the most challenging thing for me. And what Jaya goes through, you will watch in the film, of course. But Jaya observes a lot, because for her, language is an issue. Hindi mein baat karenge is her thing. And then what happens, we'll see. But that observing in her own way, I think Jaya in the film, the most lovable thing about her is that, like, what I got from her is like, language is not necessary for connect, because she connects with everyone so deeply in spite of not knowing anyone's language. She even doesn't know English. But because she's observant and she's from that a little bit that village character, she wants to survive. And when you want to survive, you try to reach out in your own ways. You don't have to speak, but with her eyes, she's trying to connect with everyone, that is it. And that is why she can connect to Saya. And there is a scene which we will see in the film, but I love it because Archana's character and me, she also doesn't know Hindi or English in the film. And I also, but still we connect. So, Jaya goes beyond language continuously. Even with Nandini, and that happened with Nadiya also. Like, I didn't know she knows Marathi. And when she started talking Marathi with me, I was like, and ekdam, like, hamare jaisa Marathi. And Nadiya so much, sub languages wo itne अच्छे से बोलती है, and that, I think that added a lot to the character. And for Jaya especially, because she can connect to her through language, so that is a deep bond. And even about Parvathy's character, I would say, Parvathy is like that. Matlab, beyond what she loves you, and you just understand it through her vibes. Like, I remember एक shot के लिए मैं भाग रही थी और मैं चप्पल कहाँ रखूँ, so she just picked them. And I was like, Parvathy, why are you picking my chappals? It's okay, you go for the shot, you go. She was doing that. I'm like, so, and of course, Nithya is very she looks like no nonsense, but she's so deep, loving and warm. And because I was looking at her through Jaya, she's much more than beyond what she says and the way she says it. And that's why it was unique to connect with her. And about Padmapriya, I want to say that, I thought she was so instinctive. But just before the shot, she would be just joking and she would be like bullying everyone. She will be, of course, bullying someone. No, she was not bullying. I'm just making fun of her. But the moment camera is on, the way she starts, the instinct she has, few actors has that so much of strong instinct, the way she does it. And I salute her for that. And of course, her love. So I'm really missing her. Actually, while our thing was going on, I was messaging her, please come, are you there? But yeah, so all this warmth together, and Jaya is connected to all of them beyond words and beyond any language, I would say.
Nice. Mini, how about you?
Oh my God, I could just listen to all of you talk. I mean, why did I speak? No, the word that you keep hearing in our conversations, the word connect, a lot, a lot, a lot. I mean, there is so much of yearning, I guess, in life generally, where it needn't be like this overly visible connect. It can be something very subliminal, very under the skin. And some of those connections last a lifetime. Most of us have not been in touch since, I mean, we are in touch, but like not in a way where there's a deep dive on a daily basis and all that. But we pick up where we left off, or every single time. And so that connect as an actor, for me to get that from my colleagues is like, it's like a treasure. Like it's a never ending source of energy, and to witness, and the kind of cheerleading that you get after such an experience is beyond what I can explain. As Mini though, I remember that when the first time Anjali told me about Mini, I saw Mini, like I could sort of understand where she's coming from, but it was still a story. But you know, as plans would have it, as life would have it, for whatever reason, by the time we were shooting Mini, there was definitely a Mini in me that I could tap into. And I'm not surprised, because be it Sara, be it Sophie, be it all these characters that I've gotten a chance to work with Anjali, there's always a tapping into a part of me that is very, very close to these characters. I always say I learned how to smile for real. Parvathy learned how to smile for real through Sara. Until then, it was a very plastic, very proper, like what others would want me. I don't know where that came in, but I realized that about myself. But there was a smile that comes from within, that shines out of you. That came from Bangalore Days Sara. And so there is a part of Mini that needs, that has a part of her that needs a taking care of, which cannot be asked for, which needs to be given so abundantly. And how she finds it in this space that she finds herself is definitely a journey that I think I took a lot from. I don't know about Mini, but I definitely took a lot from it. Again, a lot that I cannot say about what she goes through. But, you know, with the hardest of shells that we find around people, there is a softness, there is a tenderness at the core. And Mini has that. It was always about finding that and have it. It's very evident also. It's not something that we have to dig super deep. If you actually just let them be, you can see where they're tender. And that's what Anjali let me be. Let me be so much that the tenderness could come through all the hard shells. So yeah, that's Mini for me. Very special. Thanks again, Anjali.
And Nora?
I love Nora so much. Like, I think Anjali always gives me these characters to play, which actually reminds me of who I am. Sometimes I feel like I forget, and Nora is so light and so chirpy, and she's, you know, somewhere it reminds me to be, you know, because that I am actually like that, and it gives me that you know, impulsive, that person back, and I feel like I can be. I enjoyed playing Nora. I really did. I always enjoy playing the characters Anjali gives me. I think she sees something in us that's beyond just like an actor, and then she kind of I think she kind of writes around it, and she also picks us and says, you know, this is you. So, you know, so that, I think that adds so much depth and layers to our characters, and suddenly we feel like, hey, I can connect to this. Is so me. That's why we're all like, oh, we're not working, we're so comfortable, because somewhere she's written around us somewhere, and she gets who we are all. She knows exactly what emotion to tap in to each of us. So yeah, like Nora is a very happy-go-lucky girl from Bangalore, and she's a Kannadiga. I enjoyed playing that. I love speaking Kannada. So you know, she's married to a Malayali boy, and she's you know, without saying too much, she's just this person who wants to please everybody, who wants to be friendly with everybody needs to like her. And so she's like all like chirpy all the time and, you know, like that. So it was a very happy, fun character for me. I love playing Nora. I loved her clothes so much. I got so much grief from Padmapriya every time. She would see me, like we were all changing in the same room. So she would like wear her clothes and this is not, I don't know what is wrong. Like, why are you cribbing so much? And then she would look at my dress and she'd be like, why she gets to wear all these pretty clothes? You know? So I was like, I know it's so easy. Like I always had dresses. Poor thing, she had these pants and like chudi pants and her kurta and her dupatta. And she was like hot all the time with the, you know, stomach. And I was like, hey, I was wearing dresses. So I was just like out and on. You know, I would change in like 2 minutes. She's like, and that made her so even more grumpy, you know. But yeah, Nora was just such a fun ride for me. I loved playing her. Love how she looks as well.
And Saya, for you, how was Saya?
Saya is just like me, a lot of rage inside, and you know, she doesn't bother about anybody else. And she's a performer, and she has that energy always. Energy. She when she comes in, she has that thing, you know. So it like just like me, and sometimes she was an abandoned child in sense her father had abandoned her, so she had abandonment issues with men especially. So whenever Saya's partner Jojo is like showering her with love and everything, a part of her doesn't really accept that love, and she has that fear that someday like he might reject him, or someday what if. She's always, you know, even though being a bold and a strong woman inside, she is still not ready for like to be a mother yet. So she doesn't know how to take care of a baby. So she has always been this strong and powerful woman all her life. And then when all the motherhood comes in, yeah, she's a really confused person then. So yeah, that is my character. The only thing is in real life, I don't push people away who shower me with love. So that I told Anjali, I don't do that. I actually shower people with more love when people, you know, express love towards me. So that is the only thing that was like not going. Yeah, rest, yeah, the same only. Same, me only.
Your real husband played the real husband as well.
Gracie, for me, is not very familiar, was not familiar. She's very empathetic. She has this warmth. She's very lovable. And she finds a very interesting space in between all these women who are coming from different spaces, with different languages and from different social status. But then for Gracie, she knows that her confidence is also from this bonding that she has, especially Nandita. She's a strong pillar. But then she also has so much self-respect that she has also made her own life choices in life. But then, and she knows how to navigate through her life. And ultimately, I think she's a bit dependent on, more than actually dependent on Nandita, because of the kind of love and, you know, affection that she gets from there, and she gives it back to her also. Yeah, and she's very comfortable between these women. She finds her space. She becomes a part of the whole team, which is very new for her. While she's also doing her own things, managing the space and everything, she has a lot of things to do, but then she does everything together. She's actually you know, I've seen a lot of women like her around me. Also, she gets this confidence, energy, and something, you know, from Nandita, and we have all taken that energy from each of us, one way or the other. So yeah, so yes, she's one of the Wonder Woman.
Anjali, coming back to you, how do you get these characters, like how Nithya and Parvathy spoke about? You take bits and pieces of their personality and bring in other elements and create a character around it, is what they have said. So how do you meet this all Wonder Woman? Like, what was your journey? I've asked all of their journey. What was yours?
See, for me, Wonder Woman started from a thought that there are spaces in our lives, as women, where we have to really come forth and shine, where we are at our intense potential best, and we have to give it everything. There are some very challenging spaces in our life, and unfortunately, we don't really see many of them on screen. This whole hero's journey thing is there for a lot of women in real life. We leave it, forget the screen. Even in real life, so many women go through that hero's journey, and we don't really get to see the simple things that they go through. Simple thing like having a baby is, it's one hell of a journey. But how often do we really talk about it? How often do we reflect on what is the hero's journey there? We don't. So the idea of bunching together a group of women who are all going through the same journey but are on their own individual paths, that is what really was exciting for me. The idea that each one has their individual path to take, and yet there is one common experience that that everybody's sort of relating to, and to have wonderful people like them playing that. I mean, it's half my job done, isn't it? So the minute you have a semblance of a character, because all of them are friends, I could just reach out and say, hey, I'm thinking something like this, what do you think? And before you know it, they've already told me, okay, I'm here on this date, I'm not there on that date. Like, they've decided it all. So for me, it just gets really easy to be able to adapt that thought towards them. And yet I'm hoping that that it doesn't come across just as them, that there is always some little exciting bit which intrigues them, and therefore they want to play the character. So it has to be a balance. It can't be just like them, because then it's not challenging. But the other side is that it has to be comfortable enough that they're able to get their hands around it very easily. And the generosity with which each of these women just accept the character and fly with it, I think that is what Wonder Woman is about. Where they went off on their journey. They were like a group of birds just flying together. And what happened on the way, we could catch it. So that's I think the actor in each of them. They're very willing to literally submit yourself to the narrative and let things flow. So you just have to hint that maybe there is a chemistry between Nora and Veni, and before you know, okay, they're best buddies, and I'm just standing there watching it. So that's great fun. So after a point, they're so fluid. I think the fluidity is what really got to me, because when all of them were together, I loved how they were just flowing into one another's narratives and helping each other out. And see, this is a story about a bunch of pregnant women. Okay, how exciting can it get? Actually, very, very exciting. On the other side, isn't this something that is it restricted to only pregnant women? Are only pregnant women going to watch this? No, it's such a human experience. I think we all know somebody who's been through that journey, and to see it from this perspective is hopefully a little refreshing. So how they made it their own. I mean, I loved the day they all turned up for rehearsals and insisted that they want to wear their bellies. And before you knew it, everybody was wearing bellies and dancing to music. And it's that energy, that is what that makes you fall in love with it. And I think that is what we've heavily relied on. The story is something that we would see, in many, many ways. And in for me, it's a coming of age story, a story of friendship. More than anything else, this is a story of friendship, which is born from empathy, it's born from shared experiences. But more than anything, there is a very basic, capacity for love that each of us has. I think that sort of emerges when you see this.
It also did help that this was the first, and hopefully there'll be more, but this was the first ever set. We would get breaks, right? Like in between shoot and like shots or scenes. We had dance breaks, guys. We had dance breaks. Like, I don't think like if anything needed to be shaken off, if at any point we were holding anything at any point in our body, because not in our minds, we weren't like stuck anywhere. We were piling on each other. But dance breaks was something new and something so refreshing. So apart from all of that, we also got that chance. So I'm so ready for other actors to watch this interview on our BTS and be jealous, like, because this is the stuff of dreams, guys. This is the stuff of dreams.
I hope this movie get a golden sticker. So Anjali, talk about the crew and the men in the film. We all this time we were talking about women in this movie, and please about the men and the crew.
See, that's a very interesting part. The male counterparts of each of these characters that we've been speaking about so far. There is an interesting dynamic among each of them and their partners and families. So it's not only just the men. There are extended families also in case of some narratives. And we get these little snippets of what their life is like and how each of them actually step in. So I think the film will be interesting for men as well to watch, because there are representations of them as well. How their reactions are to when a baby's on the way and what it's like, and want it, do they not want it, do they like it, are they excited, are they going crazy, all of that. So I think we've touched upon some of those. It's going to be interesting. We have some lovely actors doing those parts, and Amruta's here, and she's paired with Sandesh Kulkarni, who is her real life partner as well. And each of them, I don't want to reveal it immediately. I think you've seen small snippets on the trailer, but hopefully when you watch the movies is when you will get to see what the real dynamics are.
So when do we get to watch the film?
We watched the film literally. The only unfair thing, I guess, that has happened here is that we ourselves have not watched the film. When?
Yes.
Okay, so that's November 18th, right? Sony LIV. Yes, tune in and watch it. Yes, please. I'd like to talk about the crew. Yes, for the crew of Wonder Women, it was really good fun partnering with a lot of our old partners in crime. My go-to constant people like my editor Praveen, Prabhakar, sound designer Raja Krishnan, my line producer NP Prakash. All of them, we had the same gang back. But in addition to that, we had new members joining in. There was for sound, there was Ajay and Arad. And we had new people like Manesh Madhavan, who was the DP in this film. And it's my first time collaborating with Manesh, but great fun, because see, to have so many characters in frame and to be able to catch everyone and to bring it together into a certain form, which, retains that energy, that is quite a challenge. And I think Manesh did it in a very calm way, unlike me.
He was extremely calm with all these women on the set. It's like, it was
We heard him
unbelievable.
speak only like at the end of the shoot only we heard him talk.
Also for art, we had Arvind Ashok Kumar, who has also, he's also been very much part of the work family. And for costumes, we had Pampa Biswas, who I think almost everybody here has worked with. So a really, really lovely team. And I think that whole line between cast and crew got blurred, even with the ADs around and everybody. So it was really a good time. So when you see the BTS, I think you'll easily be able to, see that the good time was not restricted to the cast. We were all having a lot of fun.
Yeah, we are all waiting to watch the movie on Sony LIV, and all the best to you, Wonder Woman.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Happy
Happy
Diwali.
Diwali.
Bye.
Happy Diwali to everyone. Chalo, take care, stay well.
Bye.
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 Bye.